Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 on Sandrim between the red team in the upper left. It is Happy Death and the Black Ops Striker and OmegaMan in the classic Osprey. And their opponents, the blue team in the bottom right, it is Lostcreep123 in the Star Neo and Astrologer in the Tomcat Striker. We only have two strikers this time. Good to see. But we also have an Osprey. So Striker Osprey, I feel, is probably a meta 2v2 combination. We do have the Neo coming out to harass first. Lostcreep going to be able to kill one creep. Kind of appropriate because they made the red team lose a creep. I don't know. But actually really struggling to stay alive here. Can he get away? No, man, double team by that red team. That is crazy focus fire. Did he have, what did he have? Stasis, so yeah, was not able to cloak away. And with that Neo speed, still not able to compensate for the focus fire of 2 mechs. And Happy Death going to be able to snipe a tank. Already going for the corner is the red team. Not going for their top yet. Blue team going more standard, their side outposts first. And Happy Death, oh man, struggling to get away there. Okay, but with afterburners, I would assume, yes. 2 points into afterburners. Blue team now going for their corner. It's weird to say their corner because it's not necessarily the corner that you should take, but this is kind of, you know, left team takes bottom, right team takes top. That's kind of the more common way to do it, mostly because you start with this outpost being less defended, so that's usually the outpost you take first. So most of the time you're closer on that side. But OmegaMan clearing all the neutrals on their side. I find it a little weird that they're clearing these because that's just more obstacle for the blue team to get to should they want to approach. But I guess it's experience for them, so it's kind of give and take. I personally would leave them because the experience they give you is just negligible compared to the obstacle that they create for the opposing team. In my opinion. That's an opinion. I don't know. I haven't done the math. There's probably very good logic behind either or, but that's just my impression, I guess. Yeah, opinion's not the way to put it. I think impression. That's the feeling I get. Anyway, Astrologer with a couple of jokers over here, but was responded to by both blue players, so gonna switch his focus to doing fort damage instead. Needs to drop them to hit the corner because jokers have low weapon, low piercing. And Happy Death handling that very, very quickly, dropping a couple of jackals to kill those jokers. And this will eventually... Oh, no, the creep gets the kill. So, even map split right now. Blue team now starting to move out from the corner. Red team putting a defensive line down rather than a more offensive clumping so they can eventually push out more uniformly. But it does look like the blue team is committing to this top push with all those jokers and a couple of butchers coming out by Lostcreep. They might actually be able to get this neutralization. The tanks are coming down. The neutralization goes down. Will they be able to retrieve some creeps or some infantry of some kind to get this outpost under their control? Yeah, a couple of runners by Astrologer, and they are able to grab that top outpost. Will they be able to hold it? The blue team with a couple of tanks firing in, and Happy Death here with the Joker in the back. Will he bury the tanks lower? No. Okay, and the blue team is actually continuing to move forward. Going for a fort attack is a little bit strange with this quantity of units, especially considering now the outpost has gotten neutralized, or is going to get neutralized. No! Wow, the auto-deploy runners by Astrologer have been able to hold it for the blue team, and now the blue team is actually moving forward and killing all of the red team's units. That's very unexpected. The red team now, OmegaMan down here with his Osprey Micro, going to be able to get this cleared without any mech presence to defend. Lostcreep is here now with a distraction Longhorn in the back. And a pretty good unit spread by Astrologer here. Happy Death trying to kill what he can. And he actually will be able to finish it off pretty quick, considering that he has Blade Guardian Striker. And Astrologer, oh my god, almost got finished off by Happy Death, but able to get back to that outpost in the nick of freaking time. And now Lostcreep has actually won this battle against the Osprey down here. I guess due to mainly unit advantage and outpost. And his micro is actually really good from what I saw, dropping a lot of distraction tanks and saving whatever he could. A lot of distraction tanks. Dropping the one distraction tank. Let me be a little bit more precise in my phrasing there. So now Astrologer moving up, did a little bit of fort damage, not really anything significant. The units that he spent probably would have been better off held, I think. But now Lostcreep going to try to neutralize is not going to happen, but try to weaken this outpost. But Happy Death reacting very quickly, and as again the Blade Guardian Sword Striker will probably be okay handling this you know, small number of blue units attacking here, especially with his teammate OmegaMan here, you know, to help out. And Happy Death accidentally grabbing that generator. So the blue team I would definitely put ahead right now, 45 to 40 upkeep. Obviously the blue team's ahead. They have the upkeep, or sorry, the outpost advantage. And now Astrologer carefully approaching against this quantity of units. I don't know, he might not have to, especially with the enhanced micro speed that that Afterburners gives you. He could probably ferry back and forth really, really quickly. Not have to worry too much about losing units. But the red team has a ton of presence over here. Even though the blue team has gotten neutralized, they won't really be able to hold very much, or you know, continue without it being an overall net loss for the blue team. It does look like Lostcreep's trying to keeping on softening this bottom outpost. Happy Death with a couple probes. Those are completely going to waste. The probes. Fortunately for Happy Death, they're very cheap. Oh boy, okay, I thought he was going to store them here, which is one of those map discrepancies that... I don't know if you can put stuff here. I don't know if you can go that high. But you can put stuff right here on the tip, which is not cool, because I don't think that's really intended. They should definitely edit that piece of land. Happy Death trying to neutralize, or... Well, yeah, I guess neutralize was his intent. But with Astrologer, they are really not going to get very far. Lostcreep trying to hold off against all of these gangsters by OmegaMan. And he's actually doing a fair, you know, decent job. Boosting around with his Blade Guardians and shooting like crazy with his Neo. He's been able to hold off this neutralization, spamming auto-deploy jumpers. And OmegaMan gonna have no choice basically but to run away here. And this outpost is now completely undefended. Will the red team be able to hold it? Happy Death with a few gangster drops. Will he get the neutralization? Even though he does, he won't really be able to take this outpost under his control. And again, the auto-deploy infantry, very, very strong tactic. OmegaMan coming to try to help, but realizes any threat that they could pose is pretty much over. So reallocating his gangsters to fort damage. So Astrologer moving up here. Busters first. Oh, but low on health. A little bit careless by Astrologer. Getting finished off by Happy Death. And he will probably lose these busters in the process, which is actually pretty huge. Happy Death will easily sword these down. Very high tier, mechanically sound player like Happy Death. Not going to be very difficult for him to accomplish. Oh, but Astrologer is actually able to come back before he gets before he loses the busters, which is a little bit crazy. I thought Happy Death was going to be able to get that. OmegaMan neutralizing this bottom, but again, no creeps here, no real force to be reckoned with. Just the gangsters that he brought, so gonna shift his focus to the fort. And Lostcreep's, well, actually, they've done a decent amount of fort damage. They're about a third of their health left. So the red team actually has a decent chance of taking this game just through drops alone. No lunchbox up for the blue team, which I would assume at this point, if they don't have lunchbox up, that neither of these players brought a lunchbox to the battle. Because their fort health is low. And they still have not been able to really budge any of the red team controlled outposts since, since they've taken this top outpost. Ever since then, they haven't really been able to approach very successfully. A couple of heavy mines over here for the red team. Astrologer and Lostcreep, I mean, if they tried to approach as a team, they would be reacted to as a team by the red team. So at this point, they could just sit and wait. I mean, that's AirMech 101. Sit and wait, let your unit numbers, get an advantage in your unit numbers, either approach or just hard push, depending on the advantage you have. And even if you have a net loss, you will probably just come out on top just due to the economic advantage and the upkeep advantage that you have. So they could do that, but they are really not choosing to. They're trying to be as active as possible while continuing to build their units. Astrologer getting finished off down there on the ground. Lostcreep coming with a couple of infantry, but yeah, to nothing. There's no productivity going on there for the blue team. The red team still holding bottom. I'm a little surprised to see that the blue team has not chosen to push bottom at all. No approach. They're approaching the fort, which is nice for them, but I mean, it makes sense because that's where all their units are, but they do have a ton of units over here, and the red team has basically nothing over here. That is definitely an obvious, oh, and we do have a gangster push. Oh boy, this is going straight for fort, and I think it's going to do a decent amount of damage considering that the blue team has basically nothing here to defend. They have a couple of jumpers on the high ground, on the high ledge, so Lostcreep's going to slow down this approach, but oh my gosh, gets finished off by all that gangster damage, so that's pretty huge. Pinging like crazy, telling Astrologer to come back because happydeath actually has 2-3 tanks of his own. An OmegaMan with the gangsters, oh boy, and right now this unit clump has been pushed up. Astrologer, oh man, not able to do damage fast enough. The red team had so many gangsters on the side and the tanks at the top, and again, got the blue team down to a third of their health before that attack. So happydeath and OmegaMan taking this ranked 2v2 on Sandrim over Lostcreep123 and Astrologer. Much excite. Too excite for me. That was pretty. I mean, I thought the red team was screwed. After losing that top outpost, I was like, oh, this is done. This is done. They're just gonna, you know, they're just gonna get the economic advantage. Maybe they're gonna try to get mid eventually. If they hold their outpost, they'll be fine. But that was weird. They did not decide to push bottom after it was vacated. And their approach on top was really oddly slow for the caliber of player that these players are. I guess happydeath did a really good job fighting against it, and had a really great unit spread in a really good position at their fort. So it was hard for the blue team to approach, but still, you just get a few artillery and move forward, and eventually you will succeed. You know, you put enough units down. Put enough artillery down, creep up kind of slowly. I don't know. It was just kind of weird to see how that turned out. And then that gangster push at the end was very unexpected. Well, I didn't expect it. Common sense, yeah, okay, that was a great move. It was a very obvious move. But I'm just really surprised to see the blue team did not push that bottom. And the red team kept doing drop attacks, which makes sense. That's pretty much the meta today. But then OmegaMan chipped away at that blue team fort really well. And a lot of their attacks or their drops that they realized wouldn't work, they shifted them and converted them into fort attacks. And that allowed them to do the damage that they did. I'm very curious to know if the blue team brought Lunchbox, because they definitely should have. And if they did and didn't put it up, that's weird, considering how much health they had. But anyway, that was a crazy game. That was these are the kinds of games I like to see. These are not your typical standard dual mid fight games, if you know what I'm saying. So if you play any of those, definitely send them in to me. Look at my video description for the link. People keep asking me, where do I submit replays? I'm like, literally every single video description that I have. Or you can get the link in the AirMech Discord's welcome message, that too. But whatever, guys. Keep asking, I'll keep answering. I'll keep answering sarcastically. But you'll get your answer eventually. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.